Stretching at last with its greedy paw. Animal lost, reinventing God and animals. Reinvent science, mesmerize the hopelessness of logic. Clouding over with yellowish acid. Green wasps steaming overhead. Dead side by side with the silly prurience of dueling penises. Scissored and laid in cotton, digested and crapped out. Whole world to follow. Rattling news in brief, the faces at wrong angles, arms backwards, bare ruins, exposed studio lights, on and off location shots with mixed up text, shit out the whole organism, crapping itself out till it is so small, asshole wheezing. Will there be a remnant of the code, an actual physical remnant from which to recreate the seed of conflict with its even inchier temples of harmony? Or just the code with no substance to enable it to relive itself, with us on the tongue believing we are in the brain, soul and guts, plasma, everything snot rag, and the universe is a minority. Slave to our bleeding eels, gray eyes looking out in the underwater sarcophagus, stacked deep with floating cadavers, separated from genetic memory, diced and reassembled wrong, feet on shoulders, etc. wrong. Can't explain right from the shapes of these bodies, drunk on wrinkled waves of green-brown sky poured from the skull and crossbones bottle onto the mirror at the top of our eyes. Will the code only return us to the field of combat we mistake for the mixing of sexes, for the rubbing of vision, tangled puss love handling of a god? Will the code only reborn us to the noxious twizzling of fingers, wrangled with fingers, and genital things like kitchen things with the important parts missing? Will we be unable to read, in other words, history, even the history of silence that preceded us? Will we be unable, because of the mutilated, shitted out code, to keep our hands from hurtling, punching button that rearranges the mystery locks and unlocks the jail door? Living corpuscles made prisoner and freed, made prisoner and freed again. Breathing of the animal, the breathing of animals, muffled in a snarl of metal and plastic and fashionable concrete, labyrinthine mucus tunnels in the dark of larger artifice, artificial life taking over as a home for killing. Based on real intellect, being only the confused instincts of limbs playing themselves out on each other's parts. Will we be unable to be? Will we be always wrong for each other? Zinc and Z-pan of sizzling acid, ding-dang, dong, self-obliterating fight of minerals, squirming in the hostile element of chewing and tattered rows of sacred Bethel, now dirty and unseen winch operators raising the china cabinet with tinkling parts of the sport, knocking frightened on a glass. Will we be unable to even marshal our mutated genes into the form of a wrong body we could later make right? Will anything be born? Will we ever give birth ever again? The blanched navel of the body of conflict is tied, stitched, catted into place, Holocaust prison shining its freezing colors, embedded in a forehead of red dust, packed damp blood from the forgot killing floor as it walks, tramples over the nuts of the code and other finer peach-like dust. Will it be the embodiment of cruelty and despair exercised on itself, executing hammer up over itself, internal warfare expressed in another version of the smile, dribbling its own semen and eggs onto the fertile floor of the ruins of this world? Will we be unaware of our position in this body? Will we be forever lost from each other in the stream of blood and digestion? Will the mirror ever come close enough to introduce the animal to its reflections and join the pieces of combat together into planet Earth into the rain. Science retching at last with its greedy paw. Tentacle lost, reinventing God and animals. Reinvent science as the rise to the hopelessness of logic. The big blue twink.